Welcome to the Sleazy Podcast, the podcast about anything and everything, but mostly TV and movies. And now it's time to get sleazy.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Sleazy Podcast. I'm your host, Sleazy. This is episode 149 of the Sleazy Podcast, of course. And tonight we have a special guest, the banana heckler, Chuckles himself. You might have heard him on our intro laugh a couple times. And from the Chicagoland area, we have Hot Sauce as always.
I'm here choking on a lung or something.
Jesus, dude, you gonna be all right?
Oh my god! This is gonna be the highest rated sleazy podcast ever,
And it'll be Hot Sauce choking to death. You all right, man?
I think so. Damn, Jesus.
So were you really choking, or was Jason's laugh killing you?
I started choking, then he started jumping in, and it fucked me all up.
Put you in the gut if you was in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
That is hilarious, man.
I'm here. I'm alive.
Oh, geez. So many of you are wondering, where's Mr. PBS? He's not here. He's sick, so he's not coming tonight. I think he said he had a stuffy nose or something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's got the cis mode going.
The what?
Cis mode.
Maybe he's got a diabetic hat that we never knew about.
Yeah, maybe that's why he can't go out, because he has a diabetic cat.
Rob's got a diabetic dog, and PBS has a fucking diabetic cat.
It's a sanctuary farm for the diabetic animals on it that he takes care of.
They all
Is that it?
They line them up together and give them insulin shots one at a time. But Ned is in Mr. PBS's chair, so we got him to always add some commentary in on things. Where Mr. PBS would normally give us a one-liner, we've got Ned this time. So, but so we are in the presence of a TikTok star right here.
Oh God!
For
Shit.
those of you that don't know, Jason was on somebody's TikTok.
Let me see how many views that has.
Oh, you still got it?
Mm-hmm.
You should send the link and I'll share it.
Let me see how many.
Yeah, I still think about that guy. Day he came up to me, just threw him in left field. He just came out of nowhere. It's just crap. And just started talking. I was like, "What is wrong with you, dude? I don't know what to say."
That has.
Yeah.
I guess that's his shtick. Like, he just walks up to random people and tries
Oh,
to.
you've never seen him before?
No, I'd never seen him until.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Speaking of TikTokers, did you see where Waffler69 died?
I did see that. I've seen that pop up a lot. I actually got on TikTok today and yesterday for like my 2 minutes a week or some shit, whatever it is, and I saw that.
I wish I had your discipline. Every day when I've got idle hands, I'm like, TikTok. Just keep.
I'm actually going through now to look for that. Hang on.
But his shtick is like walking up to people and trying to trick them into talking about random things, and
Obviously,
like there's been a couple people where he's like, "Oh yeah, I remember you," and they have a conversation. it's hilarious. Hot Sauce is patiently looking.
Yeah, I found it. How can I tell how many views it has?
I have it on my phone. My cousin, my nephew.
It looks like it's got about. Well, because it's grayed out because I just watched it. So let me watch another one.
So you didn't even know you were being recorded.
Yeah, I had no idea, man.
And this, you know, your cousin sent it to you because he came across you on TikTok.
No, my nephew showed
Or
it
your
to
nephew.
Me. Yeah.
Okay. So what was it like when you saw yourself on TikTok?
I was blown away. Yeah, I forgot all about it. My nephew showed me the video. It's like, oh my gosh, that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
I think it was just You know, there's random freaks downtown all the time.
Make sure you're
So, I just thought it was another random freak downtown.
make an effort to talk into the mic.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just didn't really think about it. Just kind of saw him and looked at him for a few minutes and he took off. That's about it.
Can you describe what he looked like? Because we never see him.
Oh, he's I don't know, regular. He's pretty good shape. 6'1".
6'2", 6'1".
Yeah, he's kind of a big guy. Clean shaven dude.
Kind of a big guy, huh? All right, so hold on a second.
Oh, there it is.
Still eating bananas, huh?
Sorry.
Still eating bananas? I thought you said you were going to quit.
Yeah, I was lost, man.
We talked at Mike's barbecue last week. You sure? You don't remember me? You're Gil Johnson, aren't you?
Look how terrified Jason looks.
Sorry, man. I thought it was you at Mike's party telling me about the banana.
Oh,
Sorry, boy. You good?
That was about it. He took off.
He was like, aren't you from Mike's barbecue? You're the guy, the banana guy, right?
It's a big city, Eric. A lot of mics out there.
I guess so. Do you know Mike?
Couple.
I mean, aside from,
yeah,
one that lives in town that you would have been like, yeah, I was at Mike's barbecue.
I got a second cousin whose task cousin name was Mike. I've seen him for a while, but no, I don't.
He couldn't trick trick the great
They're in
Chuckles.
cahoots with each other.
He could not trick the great Chuckles, the wanderer of downtown Columbus.
You should open up like a walking tour of downtown Columbus.
Yeah, like every Saturday, you just
All the historical sites.
you give people like tours, and you could be like, and all the chicks that want to have sexual relationships with me after the tour, stay here. Then you just come back for them,
Sometimes I like to walk by the convention center and see people from out of town and scream at them like they're foreign.
Yeah.
Act like they're, like, I don't know, just to mess with them. I don't do that to people.
What, like if they're foreign, you scream at
No,
them?
I don't mess with nobody. I'm just kidding.
Well, you're the banana heckler for a
I
reason.
guess so.
Yeah. All right. So, anybody do anything special this past couple weeks since we've been off? I mean,
I don't believe so. I don't have a mullet anymore. There's that.
yeah,
You ain't no hair noticed.
The mullet's gone. There might be a job in my future. I'm not sure yet. Up in the air.
What's going on? Are you going back into the loss prevention world?
Maybe, kind of, maybe.
Okay.
One of my wife's friends' husband works at the casino and said they're always looking for people to sit in the camera room and do camera surveillance, and they'll hire part-time.
That's your job, man. What'd you say?
You be a pit boss.
No. I'd
my fucking hand.
take him out back, hang him over the edge of the balcony.
Yeah. Hey, if you want it, you can just push that mic over towards you. That way, when you're leaning back, you can still.
How's this?
That's good, buddy.
All right.
Like I said, kind of like a fist, I was showing him that before the show. I was like, just a fist away. And he was like, can you do that a little slower? So I was like,
Your roommate goes out of town and you start having guys in the basement. Look out.
Dim the lights and put some Sade on. Sade.
There you go.
we stopped in Grapevine Pizza before the show to grab dinner. And these chicks played
Smooth Operator.
And of course, Jason had to start singing it, but he was singing it with his own lyrics.
Okay.
And he was like, I'm a pizza annihilator.
Yeah, she shot me this dirty look. I think she played the song and it just pissed her off because I was singing over it.
They were incredibly pissed that he ruined their jukebox song.
Get over it.
Yeah, get fucked. But I watched a ton of shit now that I think about it. And I had a ton of Nerdco orders too, like one every day it seemed like. But just this week anyways. But I mean, last night I was like, I got home from shipping out that last order, and I was like, man, fuck it. I'm just going to watch something and relax for the rest of the evening. I'm not doing anything online with the website, stores, or social media. And I sat down and I watched Rec 1 and 2 on Amazon Prime Video. Man, fucking great movies, dude. Fucking great movies. I watched Quarantine years ago. And that's
the one with Jennifer Carpenter?
Yeah.
Is that Quarantine?
Yeah. And that was the American version of Rec.
Oh, okay.
I remember watching that. I had not seen Rec because back then it was kind of, I won't say it was hard to come by, but it wasn't as accessible as it is nowadays because it's a Spanish movie. And I remember watching it and I was like, oh, this is just okay. It's not really good. I don't think I'll watch the original because this just didn't do anything for me. But man, I watched that shit last night. It was intense, man. It was really good. And I got to say, for 1 and 2, they're both good, for the original and a sequel going into it. But I mean,
how old are they? Because that Quarantine, am I muted? No, I'm not muted.
I'm muted. Well, let's see here. We can,
because that Quarantine, it's probably about what, 12 years old, 15 years old.
Yeah, it was like mid 2000s there. Rec was released in 2007. And I think the sequel, when was the sequel released? 2009. Okay, so let's go to Quarantine. Quarantine was 2008. So yeah, these were a long time ago. And they actually they made a sequel to Quarantine. I didn't know that. Maybe I did know that.
Probably straight to DVD. I don't think I heard much about it.
Yeah. I wonder where's all the watch options. You can just rent it. I wouldn't rent that movie. I'd wait for it to be free somewhere. But man, Rec 1 and 2, like I kind of want to own them now. They're that fucking good. But I remember I watched a YouTube video about some guy talking about it, and one of the things that makes it so great is they actually recorded it in an empty like apartment building of some sort or something like that. So like all the sounds you hear of like bodies dropping and stuff like that are actual sounds. And the people, I mean, for being a found footage movie, the actors are really good in it, and their reactions and the way they play around with the pushing the camera away and stuff like that. I mean, it's a really good found footage movie. And even the second one is really good. Like they send this SWAT team into the building because it picks up like 15 minutes after the first one ends. And they send this like SWAT team or whatever the fuck they are in. And they actually have video feeds on their helmets. And there's like a captain. He can look into each one. So you're like seeing the camera feed from each helmet or whatever. So that was pretty cool too. But yeah, I mean, phenomenal movies. If you're just sitting around and you're looking for like a nice little horror movie to watch, hit Amazon Prime up and check that shit out. It was good. I had a good time watching that.
Yeah, I love movies like Cloverfield, or it's like realistic. Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah,
they dubbed or subbed.
They are not. They're subbed.
Okay.
So it's in Spanish and
but whenever just kind of subtitles don't really take away from anything. Just
I think if anything, they make you pay more attention to the movie. So you get a little bit more out of the dialogue and stuff like that.
But you watch regular movies with subtitles on though too.
Oh yeah. I watch just about everything with subs on. So this is a house of subtitles. Deal with it. But I mean, if I have a guest over and they don't enjoy it, I'll take it off. It's no big deal to me that way. And unless it's somebody like Chuckles over here, and I'm like, you will read.
We gotta deal with it.
Yeah, you'll deal with it. You'll read. You'll like it. All right. So, man, it's been a long time since I've done crazy news, hasn't it? I don't even know.
I don't think so.
It's been a long time since we played that. All right, an end to that. Okay, so our first crazy news article, you submitted this, I believe. Clearwater man charged with tossing man off boat, leaving him to die. Then the case fell apart. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
3 people told police they knew who killed Lonnie Wilson. But after prosecutor's star witness died, the case was dropped. Holy shit. And we can add this to the stream here so everybody can see it. There's the boat. Oh, look at that. After Lonnie Wilson was found dead in the water near Sand Key Park in Clearwater in December of 2021, at least 3 people told police they knew who killed him. James McManus told police he had gone boating with Wilson and a man named Shane Duggan, and that Duggan threw Wilson overboard during an argument and ordered McManus to drive the boat away, leaving Wilson behind to drown. Ligia Bello told police that Shane Duggan had sent a video to his brother James, who was her tenant and roommate. It showed Shane Duggan throwing someone over the side of the boat, she said. David Kluver, who worked at Hooters, with Shane Duggan, woke up in the middle of the night on December 4th, 2021, and opened a series of Snapchat messages in which Duggan admitted to throwing Wilson off the boat. He told police,
I would jump down because it really goes into like a whole big detail of background and history. And I would go down to the meat of it where it really says like what happened.
Where charges are dropped or something?
Yeah.
Okay. In June, about 6 months after Duggan's arrest, prosecutors filed a notice to the court. They were dropping the manslaughter charge against him. The essential witness to the case, James McManus, has died, and without his testimony, we are unable to go forward, the document states. Assistant State Attorney Erica Emmis told Tampa Bay Times that McManus died of natural causes. While attorneys can sometimes use testimony from someone who is deceased, there are certain requirements, she said. One of those is that the testimony must be sworn. At that point in the criminal case, prosecutors were still investigating, Emmis said, and had not yet taken sworn testimony from McManus. Without it, prosecutors felt they couldn't get a conviction. Knowing something and proving something are 2 different things, Emmis said. And if I can't prove it in front of the jury, then I can't, in good faith, put forward that case. Duggan did not return calls seeking comment for his story. His lawyer, Jonathan Saunders, said Duggan would not be speaking with the Tampa Bay Times. The attorney said he agreed with prosecutors' conclusion that there wasn't enough evidence to go forward with the case. Ooh. Wilson's family
it's pretty wild.
Found out the charges had been dropped after Pickering, his mother, called the state attorney's office to ask for an update. She just started screaming, no. Man, that's crazy. I mean,
yeah, the in the first part there, they mentioned Snapchat. There were messages on Snapchat, but no one had preserved those or tried to save them. So when police went to investigate, those messages were self-deleted and gone.
Yeah.
The guy that was going to testify in the trial, they took his statements, but it wasn't sworn testimony or anything. Then he died of natural causes. So they had nothing to go on.
It's crazy because you would think those videos would be stored somewhere on a Snapchat server somewhere around the world. But I mean, I'm not 100% sure on how any of that works. You know, obviously the messages delete after you view them. But man, that's crazy. You know, what is the deal with people wanting to share everything, by the way? I mean,
man, if I do some shit, I ain't telling nobody.
Right. Everybody's got a Snapchat shit and Facebook Live it or anything like that nowadays. And I mean, it sucks that somebody died over this, but man, I
guess he's just kind of mad at him and kind of dropped the bomb on him when he got him on the ship and
threw him the fuck overboard.
Told him how he felt.
Can you imagine that, like being out with your friends?
Yeah.
I'm 99% sure it was the guy that died. It was his boat. They threw him off his own fucking boat and drove him back to shore.
Drove his shit back, jacked his boat and drove him.
All boats, no hose.
We got a rock star in the making over here, ladies and gentlemen.
You fucking know, man. Sometimes he knocks them one-liners out of the park.
Yeah, it's like Jason either hits a fucking grand slam or he just fucking swings and misses.
Or I'm just over here eating a banana, buddy.
Banana Man. Gil Banana Man Johnson.
Start wearing a yellow shirt everywhere I go.
Hell yeah.
You really should get you a banana shirt of some sort. All right.
Banana costume for next Halloween.
Yeah, that would be good.
Oh, we didn't even mention it. Today's Friday the 13th. Did everybody leave their cookies and milk out for Jason last night?
I did not.
You did not?
No.
Did
But
you, Jason?
No.
it'd be nice to get some Jason like Voorhees cookies and leave them out. Little bloody, icing on them and stuff like that. Hatchets and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This next article is from Mr. PBS.
Of course it is. It's from NPR.
Yeah. NPR. All right. So, looking to watch porn in Louisiana, expect to hand over your ID. Good thing you don't live in Louisiana,
Yeah.
Jason. Gil. On websites showcasing adult content only, verifying your age by typing your birth date and clicking go is deemed a simple process. But in Louisiana, that's no longer the case. As of January 1st, 2023, people in Louisiana will need to present proof of their age, such as a government-issued ID, to visit and view pornographic websites like Pornhub, YouPorn, and RedTube. The controversial law known as Act 440 requires adult websites to screen their visitors using reasonable age verification. The new law applies to any websites whose content is at least 33.3% pornographic material that is harmful to minors, according to the bill signed last June. The law doesn't specify how the 33.3% would be calculated. Any commercial entity that knowingly and intentionally publishes or distributes material harmful to minors on the internet from a website that contains a substantial portion of such material shall be held liable if the entity fails to perform reasonable age verification methods to verify the age of individuals attempting to access the material, the bill states. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards' office did not immediately respond to NPR's request for comment on how those without a valid driver's license or other government-issued ID can access online porn in Louisiana.
I'm going to go down and open up a chain of adult bookstores. It's about to boom down there.
Right. Representatives at Pornhub, YouPorn, and RedTube did not immediately respond to NPR's request for comment on Louisiana's new law. Wow. Concerns grow about online privacy with new law. With any form of online verification in which you enter sensitive data, such as your driver's license information, address, phone number, or social security number, concerns grow as to whether your information is fully protected against security breaches and hacks. It's not, people.
Hell no, never is.
It's not. Somebody out there smart enough is going to get it. And with Louisiana's new law, experts argue that the verification process could potentially come with serious privacy risks for users. Jason Kelly, the Associate Director of Digital Strategy at Electronic Frontier Foundation, told NPR that it's reasonable for consumers to have concerns about their privacy when it comes to sharing private information with third parties, especially when there's no guarantee that the data won't be retained. There is an explicit intention in the law that verifiers and websites that are using age verification should not retain your information, in parentheses, Kelly said. But users don't have a lot of guarantees that it will happen and the data will be removed or deleted and won't be, in parentheses, shared or used in other ways, he added. Yeah, fuck that. Gotta enter your driver's license just to watch some porn. I mean, why did they feel the need to make that? Like, are kids really like watching that at an alarming rate? It's destroying them in some fashion.
I'm sure plenty of it's getting watched, but is it something that we need to waste that time in passing legislature on? And I don't know about all that.
Like, there's people out there starving and homeless, and this is the thing they're worried about. The legislature, they're worried about passing to help people. And has porn ever driven somebody to like commit murders or anything like that?
Oh, I'm sure it has. Everything has at one point in time.
Do you think that porn is what do you want to call it? A gateway to violence, or do you think it's a gateway to keep people, from contributing to violence?
If video games don't contribute to violence, I'm sure porn doesn't. But that's not to say people haven't killed because of porn.
Right. you know, when Johnny sees that his ex-girlfriend did a bunch of stuff and he gets pissed.
Yep.
That bitch. Yeah, it just seems like a waste of fucking time. Like, really, people, this is the thing we're worried about. We're worried about minors getting online and looking at porn. Like, they're going to get a hold of it one way or the other. One way or the other, kids are going to look at porn.
They're going to come try and steal it from my adult bookstore.
That's right. One way or the other, they're going to look at it. They're going to find it. I mean, obviously, I don't think a lot of guys have Playboy stashes around nowadays, so that kids can steal from their dad or whatever. You know, everything's digital nowadays, but
back in my day, you had to wait till 2 a.m. and the boob was scrambled.
yeah, kids need to learn the hard way. Turn it to channel, was it 180 something? Oh, I think I saw a boob. Oh, she's getting rammed down. Oh, I can't see it anymore. So is that what one of your boxes behind you was filled with? It was classic Playboys?
No, there's
I don't want your big box for Mike.
I've got a fucking hilarious story about a box of porn though, but it's not podcast friendly.
Oh, it's not podcast friendly?
No, it's not It's an old roommate and his girlfriend in a box full of porn.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I gotta hear this off.
Yeah, it's not podcast friendly. No, there's like, I'm in a room. These are the walls. This wall over here, you can't see it. I bought 2 bookshelves and I have them along that wall. I've got like my fantasy football trophies. I got my autographed Joe Montana helmet, my autographed Jerry Rice helmet, like all that stuff's over there. On one of the shelves, I found my Playboys that I had kept. It was the Tori and Sable from WWE.
Oh, nice.
It was their issues. And then I think there's some other ones over there that's on the shelf.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for our 2022 fantasy football champion.
The trophy's on the shelf over there.
Of the Sleazy Podcast Fantasy Football League. Hot Sauce, the usual suspects was his team name. He did you limp into the playoffs? Sneak into the playoffs kind of, and then
I don't think I limped in. Well, maybe I did. Maybe I was the 4. But
it would have been 6 seed if that, because I have 6 seeds.
I think I was the 4.
Okay, so you were there.
Yeah, I don't think I limped in.
You won the first round. Then I was the number 1 seed. I'd done good all year long. I think I was like 11-3 or something. And he just whooped my ass in that mid round. And then he ended up beating J-Bone for the final, which, you know, we had that whole thing with the Bills game getting canceled. Not that it would have mattered. He only had 1 player left, I think, and that was Jamar Chase.
But you know what? I looked into that, and I made the joke that Jamar Chase would have to have the greatest game of all time by a wide receiver in fantasy scoring to beat me.
Yeah.
Do you know that he has scored over 50 points in a game before, and he holds the number 2 highest fantasy scoring game for a wide receiver in NFL history?
I knew he had a big game once before. I didn't know
Tyreek Hill holds the top spot with like a high 50 or a low 60, and Jamar Chase is second with like a high 50. He could have beat me.
Wow.
I mean, it's in the cards. It would not have been out of question. I mean, he scored 50 some points before.
Do you think J-Bone's sitting at home and he's like, fuck. He just can't take it anymore. But
I was the number 4 seed.
Congratulations, sir. Did you enjoy your trophy?
I did. It's on the shelf. I have it on the shelf with my other trophies. I've got.
How's the weight of it? Like,
it feels solid. Solid. It's got good weight to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking for something to do for the winter this year, and I've been meaning to do this the past couple of years, and I just, I forget about it with us recording and stuff like that. And when you said you won, I was like, I got to do something now.
I'll get it. Give me a second. I'll get it. Keep talking. I'll get it.
Yeah. But I mean, I ended up finding this, I think it was on Amazon, and they had like a thing where you can customize it, and they engraved the plate and put it on there. But I looked at several trophies, and then I looked at rings, and this one just kind of seemed, kind of to fit in with the podcast, since we talk about movies and shit like that. But it's like a Hulk, something, kind of coming out and ripping his shirt out, and it has like V for victory, and it's got a little fantasy football emblem on it. But it's pretty cool. I liked it. So I wish I could have seen it in person, but I ended up just buying it and having it shipped to Hot Sauce. There we go.
Sweet.
Yeah, there we go. It's a little like Hulk looking guy ripping his shirt. Yeah, it's pretty cool looking. He's mean looking.
He just found out his show's ID to watch porn.
Yeah. I wonder if the state of Louisiana will ID that guy when he gets on Pornhub. Yeah, it looks good, man. You have to get a picture with it now, and we'll post it online.
Yeah, it's got like some kind of a little emblem in there, the little fantasy football thing in there. Decade awards. It's got a little bit of weight to it. It's not real heavy, but it's got weight to it.
Like a paperweight, kind of.
Yeah, but it's not. It's probably It's probably not quite as heavy as a paperweight. What's that?
Is it pewter? Is that what it feels like?
No, it feels like probably like a cast resin.
Also, it's more like a plastic, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a cast. Excuse me, it's like a cast resin. It's painted. It's got like the weight. There's probably like a bottom piece. You can hear it. It's got like a weight on the bottom that's screwed in the bottom there. They screw that in.
Who was that?
I think it was TikTok. I'm looking for a video on here. Oh, it's going to make me log in. Use QR code. I don't know if I want to do this. Good Lord.
What are you trying to do?
Log into TikTok on my. Okay, let's see what we got here. Open the TikTok app, Discover, and use the. Okay, well, I don't want to do that.
That fire at Big Lots.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. Motherfucker, I don't know. I'm just not gonna do it. Let's see here. But I was gonna show you this video of the guy Rob that was getting. There was some chicken restaurant, I think, or Mexican restaurant down in Houston. And
the guy that got shot robbing the restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get shot. He got shot like 9 times, and then the dude walks up and executes him, shoots him in the head. And he robbed the fucking place with an airsoft gun. It's
dumbass.
Like, yeah, we were talking about this over dinner, and it was like, what's that old saying, Chuckles?
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah, it's a prime example.
As the kids nowadays call it, fuck around and find out.
Yeah, fuck around and find out.
That's the term the kids use nowadays. We used to say play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But the kids nowadays say fuck around and find out.
And shoots Robert Houston. Let's see if that pulls anything up. I mean, he executes this motherfucker. Let's see. I know as soon as I share this, it's going to be like, let's play an ad.
It's going to start off with a news story because you clicked on a news.
We're talking about the man who shot and killed a robber will not face any charges, at least not right now. Fox 26.
Because they don't know who he is.
Joining us live from HBD headquarters downtown with the new information in this case.
I wonder if they'll show it. No. Fuckers.
They know. I thought they know who he was. I thought they talked to him. He turned himself in.
Did he turn himself in?
I thought so. I thought he did.
Dramatic shooting inside a Houston restaurant. Police now identifying the would-be robber as 30-year-old Eric Eugene Washington. Late Thursday night, Eric
is no longer with us.
Taqueria off South Gessner, wearing all black, a ski mask and gloves, demanding money from customers while holding what police would later call a fake plastic gun.
He's talked to police. They know who he is.
Shooting Eric 8 times as he heads to the door.
And
then once more while on the ground, killing him.
Thank God, no one else.
That guy's gonna eat there free for a year.
Gosh, okay, let's see here. This is at heavy.com. Yeah, because they were looking for him for the longest time, weren't they?
Yeah, I think he turned himself in the next day. Like once it went real viral and everybody, I think he turned himself in.
People weren't saying shit. Like they were like, I don't know who that fucker is. Yeah, they put his old thing out there. Let's see. Of course, this isn't Google. Yeah, I want to see the whole video. Even though I think I've illustrated it at this point.
Number 4.
No, don't talk, lady.
Coming forward today.
These are all news clips. Fuck
Yeah.
it. It's not worth it, Chuckles. It's just not worth it. Okay, so our last crazy news article was from Hot Sauce. Can you imagine that they're just eating some fucking chicken or whatever, and then you get robbed, and the dude across from you gets up and executes the robber, like right in front of you? Like, Jesus.
It'd be crazy, but I'd be glad to be in that situation where somebody was there,
I guess. All right. 6 journalists arrested over footage of South Sudan president wetting himself. Oh, man. State broadcasters staff held on suspicion of disseminating the clip of Salva Kiir at official event.
Sounds like 7 people were.
Is that a cowboy hat or a fedora? I mean, what is that?
It's like a cowboy hat to me.
Yeah. 6 journalists have been detained by South Sudan security forces over viral footage of the country's president apparently urinating on himself. A press freedom watchdog has reported. The clip filmed during an official event shows South Sudanese leader Salva Kiir standing for the national anthem, initially oblivious as a stain spreads on his trousers and a pool forms at his feet. The camera abruptly turns away after Kiir and his entourage appear to notice what is happening. On Friday, the Committee to Protect Journalists, CPJ, reported that 6 journalists for the state-run South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation have been detained by the country's National Security Service under suspicion of an unauthorized release of the footage. The CPJ, citing media reports and people who spoke on the condition of anonymity, named the detainees as Control Room Director Jovel Toom, camera operator and technician Victor Lotto, camera operators Joseph Oliver and Jacob Benjamin, camera operator and technician Mustafa Osman. I wonder if it was Will Ferrell from. Wasn't he Mustafa in Austin Powers, or was he Mufasa? Either way, whatever. And control room technician Sherbert Rubin. No, it was in Austin Powers. He was the guy that like fell off the cliff and he was like, "Oh my God." Yeah, so it sounds like these people are being fucking held. That's crazy.
Yeah, it said state-run TV, so they don't play around with that crap.
It says this guy
ain't fucking around.
South Sudan since its independence in 2011, a presidency marred by fighting with a splinter group of the ruling Sudan's People Liberation Movement, resulting in hundreds of thousands dead and giving rise to sexual violence, crackdowns, and opposition to political corruption. No elections have been held in the country since Kiir took power, though a vote is scheduled for 2024. It doesn't sound like that vote's going to go through.
No, or to be rigged.
Yeah, like, I mean, what other like ammunition do you need running against a guy that pisses himself? You'd be like, this guy pissed himself in front of everybody. Like, need we say more? He can't even hold his urine in.
My man's just trying to run a fucking nation and gets caught pissing his pants in the middle of the street. I got the video up there. Good.
Oh, is it? Where's it at?
Messenger.
Okay.
The group.
Oh, did he? I'll have to mute her.
That's funny. I said I had a streamer watching a video about a guy pissed himself. If I find that ironic.
On his buddy in a public gathering. South Sudan's president has been reported to have urinated on his body on a live
He's leaking, boy. He is leaking.
Salva Kiir Mayardit, who has been the president of South Sudan since its independence on 9th of July 2011, has gone viral on social media and, of course, on internet for a very unfortunate reason. Why
And then he looks down like, what the fuck's that?
Unknowingly peed on himself during the recitation of the national anthem. Unfortunately, the event was broadcasted on a live TV, hence nothing could be done. See the puddle going behind you? Embarrassing moments. He knows it so sad. You can see him trying to picture or trying to imagine what he has caused himself. You can see him trying to see what the president is doing. And
what was it at Billy Was it Billy Madison?
Being your pants is cool. Call me Miles Davis.
On himself during the recitation of the national anthem.
Yeah, man, look at that. Oh, man.
How do you not notice it until it's like a puddle right below you?
Nothing could be done about the embarrassment.
It's like, shit.
Or the embarrassing moments. This is so sad. Strange, an African president has been going viral on social media for urinating on his body in a public gathering. South Sudan's president
urinating on his body.
Reported to have urinated on his body on a live television while commissioning a road.
Wow.
Salva Kiir Mayardit, who has been the president of South Sudan since its independence on 9th of July.
That's crazy. I mean, what else can you say about that? Other than the Billy Madison quote. I mean,
he'd get a Tidy Cats commercial, I bet. Money start coming in. Maybe it's not too bad.
Jesus.
I mean, how did they get him out of there without anybody else noticing it? I mean, I got to think everybody that was, in a radius of him was like, oh, that dude just pissed his pants. But
yeah, there ain't no hiding it.
So if you're running against him, are you like, this dude pissed his pants? He can't hold his urine in. How's he going to leave the country?
He ain't.
By the way, what was up with that Dr. Evil looking fucking outfit? I mean,
must be all the rage in the South Sudanese textile industry down there.
Hold on a second.
The fashion.
Let's see here. You type in Sudan president and urinating follows it like right afterwards. All right, so if we're looking here, like, look at this. Is that not like, hold on, let's see if we can get it.
Zoom in on the pit spot.
Oh man, does that? I mean, that looks like some fucking Dr. Evil fucking outfit. Hold on, images.
That one, the bottom right ain't too bad, but it's not, high enough to where you can see the.
I like how somebody just like put the snapshots of it. Oh man, look at that. What's Dr. Dr. Evil? Is that not what he was wearing? I mean,
may have been.
He's like the African Dr. Evil. Oh man. We may have to name Chuckles the Banana Heckler, the producer, from now on.
Maybe.
By the way, everybody, Rob is going to be gone for quite some. Well, I don't know how much longer. Maybe a couple more weeks.
An indefinite period of time.
Yeah, he messaged me today. Rob is doing okay, but he has to go back in and have a third surgery now. He had to have a second surgery because he had an infection. They had to open everything up, clean it. Now he has to have a third surgery because they found out they accidentally nicked his windpipe open. So they've got to go in and patch that up after everything's kind of drained and not as, fresh in there, I guess. But make no mistake, the Robzilla will be back eventually, hopefully, if they don't cut anything else by accident.
We're dragging him out of there.
Yeah.
Or the doctor peed his pants during the surgery and had to cancel.
Do you think he felt the puddle starting to rise by his feet and he was like,
all the nurses were laughing at him,
and he accidentally he reacted and he accidentally nicked Robzilla's throat. He's like, oh,
he looked down,
yeah,
in nice
he's like, I just pissed myself.
It's just shit, gotta go. Fuck.
And he accidentally touched it and then he went in to cut Rob's throat, and that's where the infection came from.
Let it go, Chuckles. Let it out. Don't hold it in. Let it go.
Oh shit!
You notice he's trying not to laugh.
Yeah. Let it out, man.
All I gotta say is, who needs marijuana when you have Chuckles around? I mean, you get high just by laughing with him.
I understand some motherfucker starts pissing his pants.
Can you do that one more time for us?
I love the hand on the chest.
For anybody listening, Chuckles is reenacting watching somebody piss their pants. Somebody that would have been in the crowd at that.
Well, you notice not a single motherfucker in that crowd was looking. They were all staring straight ahead.
Even if they did see it, they were like, I didn't see shit.
Someone saw it out of the corner of their eye and was just like, oh shit.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Okay, so moving on to our next topic, unless there's any other crazy news articles you got. I don't have any. I just wanted to talk about that guy shooting that motherfucker in the restaurant. I need to make that comparison and post that on Twitter. The Dr. Evil guy.
Man, don't be getting yourself fucking killed by some South Sudan paramilitary group that's out hunting down people making fun of their president.
Yeah, they send it over. It'll open up next week on the next episode. Sleazy's not here. He got assassinated for
the motherfucker. If you ain't here, I ain't running this shit. Ain't nobody gonna know.
Somebody's got to carry on my legacy.
Chuckles, the Chuckle Show.
Stay behind, and I'll show you how to run the board and everything. All right, so Netflix dropped a new documentary on, was it January 10th? I want to say
somewhere around in there.
The hitchhiking or the Hatchet Welding Hitchhiker, and you may remember this dude.
Is that a Kai was his name?
Yep.
Yeah, that's just what he goes by, Kai.
Everybody knows the meme because everybody uses the meme.
Smash!
I smashed him. Smash, smash, smash. But it's not like an award-winning documentary by any means, but it's very interesting when you start getting to know the details after everything takes place. I think I may have heard that he went to jail, but it just never clicked with me. Like, oh, it's that guy. But for those of you that are watching on YouTube, this is the guy right here. So
he's kind of been a drifter for a long time, I think, too. Just kind of traveling out and about around.
Yeah, he's just a loner. He goes wherever, and he used to go wherever in California until things kind of dried up for him or whatever. But yeah, so for those of you that don't know, how does this start out, Hot Sauce? The beginning of this story,
there were some electric company. I think it might have even been PG&E because they were out in California. A PG&E crew was out working. I don't want to say PG&E. An electrical crew was out working on some utility lines, utility workers, and a car smashed into one of the guys that was out working.
Right.
And a guy jumped out. A lady jumped out to try and help the guy that got smashed, and the driver of the car got out and started attacking her. And Kai, the smash guy, got out and hit the guy that was attacking the bystander with a hatchet in the head a couple of times, and then just was fucking walking off like, cool, I'm done, I'm out. Smash. And then when the police showed up and they had, some camera crews that were around and, heard the police scanner and everything, and they interviewed him, and the dude just went viral off of that.
Yeah. I mean, they made
for saving her life.
They made auto-tune songs and everything out of this. And this guy, he wouldn't talk to anybody but this one reporter that happened to interview him. Anybody else he wouldn't talk to. And this dude just didn't want to do anything but smoke weed and skateboard and, just roam around. He said he didn't have a last name, but obviously they find out who he is eventually. But they end up having they can't find him because he's the key witness in this case. And the reporter has people calling him like, hey, we need to get a hold of this guy. We want to do all kinds of things. These people, they want to have a reality show with him because they think he's so interesting based off of, the interview he did for 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
But they end up tracking him down. Jimmy Kimmel wants to have him on, and they get a hold of this reporter for him. And the reporter finally gets a hold of him through an email or something because he just doesn't have a phone or anything. And, basically tells him he's got all these opportunities in front of him. And he's like, nah, I think I just kind of want to go smoke weed and skateboard today. But they finally kind of talk him into going on to Jimmy Kimmel. And he goes to show up for Jimmy Kimmel, and the police fucking get him there because he's the star witness in this case. And from one thing leads to another from there. He goes back, does the Jimmy Kimmel show, becomes even more, popular or whatever. He's an attraction throughout California. People love hanging out with him whenever he's in the area. But other people start to notice that this guy isn't the happy-go-lucky guy that,
Yeah, he's a little off for sure.
Yeah, he's got some anger issues and just, there's just something not right there. There's something going on. He very talented guy, it looks like. Looks like he can play guitar and sing, and he said he could play 6 instruments, I heard.
Yeah, just famous for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, very. And it just, like, the story just gets a little weird at some point. Like, eventually they find out that he was actually hitchhiking with the guy that got out and started attacking these people. And supposedly he shared a joint with this guy, and he told people that it was laced with something. And he was like, oh, the motherfucker can't handle his drugs or something like that. And he went crazy. So it turns out that he might have caused this whole accident that he stopped in to begin with. And it's crazy. One thing leads to another. And then eventually, how much further down the line is it when he gets arrested for murder?
Oh, the whole thing. I mean, you're like, what, 6-8 months? Like, it's not even a year later, I don't think. Like 6 to 8 months. Like he peaks and then hits the downside of the peak just within like 2 or 3 months. And I mean, it's 6 months, 6 to 8 months later, 9 months maybe.
But I mean, he ends up across the country in like New York, New Jersey. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And the guy just freeloads off of generous people as much as he can. But it turns out, the guy does have a family, and, there's talk. He mentions about being abused and stuff like that. And it turns out what it sounds like, it just sounds like he had a strict parent or a parent that didn't kind of know how to deal with his behavioral issues.
Mm-hmm.
Her answer was locking him up in a room, and probably wasn't the best answer, but he kind of made it seem like he was abused or sexually abused as a kid or something. Like, they could tell that there's something wrong with this kid. But I mean, like I said, it's not the greatest documentary you'll ever watch, but it's definitely one that will entertain you for a little bit. Like you'll be like, holy shit, like what's going on here? But definitely check it out. It's on Netflix, and what is it? Probably about an hour and 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, just a little bit north of an hour. It's not very long. It's not a great documentary, but for someone, if you're familiar with the meme, the smash. Right. If you're familiar with the meme, and to know that there's more of a story behind it, and there's more, people bring up the whole, people were taking advantage of it. I mean, that goes everything. Anything that comes with that little viral 15 minutes, just like, haha, got him, like that dude. Yeah. Like, I mean, that viral fame isn't like, it could change your life in some regards, but most of the people that get fame like that aren't in good mental states, or they're not in good states of mind or health to begin with. So if they do achieve, well, they're not successful in life usually. So if something like that does happen and they do become popular, there's substance abuse or mental health issues, or something that's what that then fuels, that viral celebrity or any money they make or anything. It fuels that. It doesn't fuel them bringing themselves out of whatever got them into the current situation that they're in. And I mean, he's just another example of it.
They said when they were taking him to Jimmy Kimmel or whatever, one of those meetings or whatever, they checked into this fancy hotel, and the hotel had a bar. Like not what do you call that? A fridge or whatever.
Mini bar?
Yeah, the mini fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said it wasn't like, like your typical like mini alcohol. It was full bottles of alcohol. And they said he grabbed a bottle of whiskey and just chugged it back like it was nothing. Nothing. Chugged it till it was gone. So the dude had some alcohol issues and drug problems, obviously. But
pull up to the fucking Ritz-Carlton hotel, and you get out front, and he starts pissing on the corner of the building like a dog. They take him to Jimmy Kimmel, was pissing on the fucking sign in the parking lot of Jimmy Kimmel. Like,
right. It's crazy.
That's better than your pants during the national anthem, though.
That's right, buddy.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's definitely better than pissing yourself in front of your nation. But he is a different bird, a strange bird at that. And it's funny, man. The guy's still in prison, and he's calling people, maintaining his innocence. And you'll find that out in the documentary if you watch it. But even if you don't know who he is, it's an interesting story nonetheless. And it'll captivate you for an evening, an hour or whatever, hour and 10 minutes, hour and 20 minutes of whatever it is. But you'll, like I said, if you're a fan of documentaries and you watch them, it's not going to be the best thing, like we said, but it's an interesting story. So I would recommend it just, to hear the story and how it plays out and all the details of it. Very interesting.
Ken Burns didn't want to pick it up, is what you're saying.
No, it's not Ken Burns material.
Couldn't make it into a 37 night event on PBS.
Right. Yeah, there's not enough material on this guy to do that. But okay, so moving on, we got another documentary to talk about on Netflix. This one's called Don't Pick Up the Phone.
I don't know the actual fucking name of it, because if you look for the name of it, you can't find it on Letterboxd by Don't Pick Up the Phone. But it comes up with another title.
Yeah, some documentaries are like that. They go through different names or whatever you want to. I mean, sometimes somebody else picks them up, like Netflix, and they rename them for the distribution. So I don't know if that was something like that happened with this one.
But on Netflix, it's called Don't Pick Up the Phone.
If you're searching for it and you want to watch it on Netflix, don't pick up the phone. Chances are it's probably on the front page of Netflix when you go in there and go to browse whatever's trending or whatever. But this is another one. Like, I'm watching this and I'm like, does anybody that works in these places have any common sense at all? I mean, it was just amazing to me how dumb these people were. And the fact that they just did whatever this person asked of them that called. And what happens is this person that's calling is calling these fast food restaurants in like small rural areas. And they're saying they're a member of the police department, a detective of some sort, and somebody was robbed that was just dying there. And somehow they get like a description of a person that worked there, and they tell the manager, like, you need to take this person into the back room and you need to search them for the money they stole. And sure enough, these motherfuckers one by one go right into the back room with their manager, and the manager's like, take off all your clothes. This is what the detective's telling me over the phone. And sure enough, they do it. What was the one where he had the girl do jumping jacks over the phone?
Yeah, a lot of them, he'd have them do jumping jacks so he could hear them and know that they were actually doing what he was telling them to do on the phone.
Yeah. But this was a good documentary just for how they found out who this was and tracked them. And I forget how long it was, but it was over a period of time.
Oh God, years.
Yeah, years.
I mean, this started in the like the mid 90s and went all the way up into the early 2000s. There's like over 100 some different incidents of this happening
through several states, not just like one area, several states.
It sounds kind of like that shit where they had the three guys say, do this and this, like the prank show. Can't remember the name of it.
You're thinking of like Impractical Jokers or some shit. Yeah. Nothing like that at all, but no.
Yeah. Imagine just a lonely guy with a calling card, just obviously, like, is he looking at a map or something and just picking them out? I mean, this is before Google, obviously. So, but anyways, they tracked this guy off of calling cards, and I guess after, was it 9/11, they started a thing where they were tracking calling cards, and they just found out where the calling card was purchased, and then they went in and started looking at videotape, and then from there they batched this guy up or whatever, based off of a uniform that he has on, and they go around all these different locations of jails. I believe he worked in a jail, right?
Mm-hmm.
But man, it is a fucking wild documentary, and the things that these people do, like, if my manager came to me and they were like, we've got a detective on the phone and he's saying that you stole some money from an old lady that just ate here, and we need to take you into the manager's office and strip search you. I'm like, get fucked. Like, he can come down here and talk to me then. And that's all they had to say was like, well, then have the cop show up here and I'll talk to him. And they would have been fine. He would have hung up or whatever. But no, these people all go through it. And they mentioned something in the documentary about it was specifically targeting rural areas because those people respect authority figures and they don't question authority. So, you respect your manager, you'll do whatever your manager says because the manager respects the law, and they want to help the law. So it was an easy go for these people, easy profile on these people.
But it's so fucking ridiculous though, because like, I mean, he's like the main case that they center on, that the female manager gets and he gives them just vague descriptions too. Like, oh, it was and you're dealing with a fast food restaurant. So let's go to McDonald's. Let's go to any fucking McDonald's anywhere near you. And I guarantee you're going to find a young, petite, brunette, 18 to 23-year-old female. You're going to find them. They're kids that work there. You're going to find them. So he gets his female manager and, gives a vague description. Oh yeah, that's Susie. Susie's here. And so she goes and gets Susie. And then he's like, well, you need to tell her to take her clothes off, and goes through all this shit and she's doing it. Another manager actually brings a fucking trash bag to tape over the fucking window of the manager's office so nobody can see what's going on back there.
Right.
And the manager's like, and like this takes place over hours. And she's like, well, it's busy. I got to get back to work. Well, is there anybody that that you could have come in and continue this since you can go back to work? But we don't want it to be another McDonald's employee. So she's like, yeah, my boyfriend, my fiance, he can come in. So the fucking fiance comes in and ends up doing this shit for hours on the phone. Like it sexual assaults this girl, like, you know, oral sex. It makes this girl do oral sex on him. And like, and he's just sitting there like talking on the phone. And it's just like, at one point in time, like he's like, wait a minute. Like I just received oral sex from this girl because a dude on the phone. I don't think this is right. I got to go. So he jets out of there. The manager comes back in and continues on with this shit. And the worst part of this is like the janitor, who is off, comes in and goes back there like, what the fuck's going on? The cops, the janitor, the cops are on the phone. They told me to strip search her and she just sucked my boyfriend's dick and she stole money. And the dude was like, what? Puts him on the phone. The janitor's like, who is this? This ain't no fucking cop. Hangs the phone up. Was like, that wasn't a fucking cop. The janitor, 2 seconds on the phone, was like, that ain't a fucking cop. Hangs the phone up on him. After they just spent 4 hours back there.
You know?
It's sad when the janitor has the most common sense out of anybody.
Like you just to watch it, it's 3 episodes, and to watch it and the way it happened and the way it took place and the fact that it, like, each of these incidents went on for hours. Like they're sexually assaulting these kids. I mean, that's what they are. A fucking 18-year-old at McDonald's. They're sexually assaulting an 18-year-old in the back room of a McDonald's, and they're just fucking going along with it. Like it's fucking ignorant. Like it's fucking ignorant.
You would think at some point any rational adult, any adult with any kind of competence, when they hear, all right, she needs to take off all of her clothes, you'd be like, why? Like, I'm not fucking doing that, dude. If we don't have any proof of her stealing it, then the case closed.
Well, and then he flips it. He's like, well, she's got drugs on her. We need to find the drugs. Drugs? Yeah. I thought she stole money from Grandma Joe. Like, what the fuck?
And these people don't question it. They're just like, okay, I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it. Oh, I'm going to drop my pants now. He told you to suck my dick. Go ahead and do it. And the guy really felt terrible afterwards. And it was just like, how fucking dumb are you, dude? Like, how fucking dumb are you? But
it's bullshit.
It's a mesmerizing documentary, and you'll just be amazed at how these people just do not have any ounce of common sense. Not one
Zero.
ounce.
They have negative common sense. Yeah. Negative. It's a deficit. They have negative common sense.
Yeah, it's sad is what it is. You see this and you're like, this is why we have the problems we have in today's society. I mean, a lot of people are just stupid. That's what it comes down to.
They're fucking stupid. I mean, you can say that's an offensive word to use. They're fucking dumb. They're fucking idiots. They're ignorant.
I hate to sound like that or say it, but I mean, it is the truth. I mean, for you to go along with something like that, like, I'd be like, all right, well, we'll settle this when you get here.
I'm too busy for this shit. She was too busy to sit back there and do it, so she calls her boyfriend in to watch her. I'm too busy. I'll lock her in the office. You come fucking get her. Like, I got shit to do. Like, no, fuck me. God damn, they're stupid.
Yeah, it's amazing, dude. It's amazing how dumb they were. But I mean, you just got to watch it to see. Like, your mouth will drop when you start hearing these stories. I mean, like you said, it was literally equal to, if not worse than the one documentary about the guy breaking the family up.
Yeah.
Having an affair with the wife and the husband.
Yeah.
And then stealing their kid to marry the kid. What was that? Caught or abducted in plain sight.
Abducted in plain sight.
That's another one that makes you question people, you know, and their ability to handle certain situations in today's society. Well, that was years ago, but I mean, it just goes to show you people are stupid. They don't think. They do not think.
There's a bunch of dumb fucking people out there.
Yeah. But I mean, it's weird. I don't think he ever targeted like a city area, did he?
No, it was all over. It went coast to coast, top to bottom, left to right over like 20 years or some shit.
But it was all like small town areas that were away from cities or whatever.
Most of them were, yeah.
Yeah. But man, what a very interesting documentary. And if anything, it'll make you sad after you watch it. Like, how are people this incompetent? I mean,
and this was the manager.
Yeah, this is somebody in charge of a business that operates, you know, every day. But it's just something, man. I just like, even as a kid, like if I were to hear something like this, I'd be like, well, where's the cop at? I'm not doing anything until the cop shows up. You know, I mean, I guess people just don't know any better. But fuck, man, it's something else. You just got to watch it, man, and you'll be fucking amazed. You will be fucking amazed. So, all right, moving along. We've got one last topic here. I think I'm the only one that watched this. Chuckles doesn't have Netflix. You don't watch a whole lot, anyways. You end up falling asleep.
Yeah, usually.
He's too busy. Too many bananas. Overloading potassium.
Unloading that potassium puts him to sleep. You didn't watch it, Kaleidoscope on Netflix, though.
No, that's the one you can watch in a bunch of different orders. Like, it doesn't matter.
So I was really excited about this, mainly because Giancarlo Esposito was the main character in this. And where's the cast here? Let me go ahead and pull.
Come on, producer. You're supposed to look this shit up. That's what you do as the producer.
You don't have to look it up, Jason. I got it. Let's see here.
While you're looking that up, I'll tell you about my day tomorrow. We have one of the nature reserves around here. Got a lot of trees and shit in the area. Apparently, Illinois is a big state for eagles. So there's an eagle walk tomorrow. We're going to go to one of the nature reserves, and we're going to do like a tour, and then they've got some eagles on site in the nature center that you can see the eagles, and do an eagle walk tomorrow.
All right. So, Giancarlo Esposito is the main guy. Rufus Sewell is in it. Jacques Courtney is in it too. So he was the other big draw on this.
I just dropped my phone. My phone was on my lap.
It sounded like it was over here. But yeah, it's the way they marketed it was, you can watch this in any order and it'll still end, and you'll get everything out of it. And so I kept seeing the advertising for it on Facebook through Netflix account. And they had these different things set up, depending on, like who you were a fan of. Like if you're a Tarantino fan or a fan of this other, you could watch it in these orders and it would give you a Tarantino vibe. So that's the one I chose, obviously. I forget what the other ones were, but I ended up doing that. And I felt like it never gets to where, like, it doesn't reach its potential. And it's okay to watch, it's something to watch if you're bored and you need something to find and entertain yourself for a couple of nights, or a weekend, whatever, however, your pace is when watching things. But I don't like Giancarlo Esposito. I was a little disappointed. He was okay in it. I mean, he wasn't terrible, but everybody was just okay in it. And there's a couple funny parts in it, but I mean, other than that, I think because the way they have it to where every episode is, like you can watch every episode and it can end, that episode can end. Like it just never gets where it's going, and you don't feel like a constant momentum with it. So I don't know if you watch it the way Netflix has it, if it is a little bit better of a watch, but I'd almost just recommend just watching it the way Netflix has it. And that would probably be the better way to watch it as far as the momentum, and it may be a different feel for you when you watch it that way. But the order that I watched it in, it just felt like it was never getting to where it needed to go. And I felt a little disappointed by it. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I ended up giving it like 2.5 stars on Letterboxd. So it was just average. It wasn't anything spectacular, I didn't think. Some people are really enjoying it though. But I just felt like, obviously if you've watched any kind of heist movies before, this isn't anything new or special. So it's just kind of, yeah. I hate to be like end on a downer, but yeah, it's just kind of meh. And I don't know. I'm not going to say pass on it, but you know, if you're bored and you got nothing else to watch on your list, I guess you can give it a try. So, are you gonna watch it, Hot Sauce?
I might. I'm looking at it now. What does it say here? The episodes are named for different colors. Also, an easy way to track what you're watching, compare it with friends. You aren't obligated to watch it the way Netflix suggests. Do I need to pick an order? Not necessarily. If you hit play on the show, you'll see a quick primer on how it works, then launch into the episodes. Hang on a second here. This mic, boom, just swings. They can come in any order with the exception of white, which is the heist itself, and it's structured to be the series finale. That said, you can pick in any order to watch for yourself.
Yeah, I believe I watched Red was the last one I watched.
Okay.
So, and I mean, I think Red was like right after the heist. But by then you had already seen everything and you kind of know how everything plays out, and you're just like, but yeah, so
I feel like a lot of stuff like that where they try and do something different. I think a lot of that stuff just kind of falls short. You know, Netflix has a history of not exactly knocking stuff out of the park. So when you try and do something, what was the one? There was one that was a few years ago where there was some kind of a story, and it was kind of like a choose your own adventure, so to speak. Like there was different paths that came up in the story.
That's the what's the one show about like oh shit. It's an anthology. Every episode's different. But I know what you're talking about. I never got around to watching that. I heard it was fun. Some people said it was fun. Some people
didn't like it.
But I just want something that entertains me from start to beginning. And I don't know, like just watching this, and I don't know. It just, even when I watched it, and like they can say all they want that you can watch it in any order and it won't ruin the experience for you. But I think that my experience was ruined by watching it out of order. I think it would have flowed much better the way the episodes were set up. And I don't know. Like I feel bad for Giancarlo Esposito because he's such a phenomenal actor, and I really love him in everything he's done. And I don't hate him in this, but he's just okay. I mean, I don't think it's his best acting by far. I mean, it's not. I don't know. I think somebody else could have done it and it would have been the same. But I don't know. It's just, there's just something missing about it. And like you said, it just falls short. And like the potential, it has great potential, but there's just something about it. It just, I don't know. It never really gets you excited and never really gets you hooked. You're like, at one point I felt like it was a chore watching it. And I was like, well, when is this going to fucking end? Because the way you watch it out of order, you find stuff out and you're like, okay, I already know this, I already know that. So I'm just watching back, you know, a time before that happened, and I'm just like, okay, big deal, you know. Whereas I'd rather just see it all at once and get it over with. But Chuckles is like, fuck that shit. I'm not watching that.
I'm trying to look, man. I can't figure out what the hell it was. It was a few years back. There's a Black Mirror that comes up, Bandersnatch from 2020, but I feel like it was something older than that, maybe.
Because Black Mirror, that's what it is. Black Mirror had they came out with a movie, that Bandersnatch, where it was interactive and you could pick the different outcomes of the movie. I don't know if there's another one though.
I feel like there was one. I feel like there was one even earlier than that, because I mean, that's post COVID. This was 18, 17. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't recall there being another one other than whatchamacallit. So
I'll have to look. Yeah, I feel like Netflix, they do stuff like that, and it's just they fall short on so much stuff. And then when you're trying to push an envelope like that and do something off the wall, like
I really feel like the problem with Netflix is they're so loose with giving people money and just saying, go make a shit. And there's no direction on how the shit's made. Like people just have free will, whether it fucking sucks or rocks. And Netflix is like, okay, we'll just put it out. We don't care if it sucks or anything. It'll just get people to watch. and they're really becoming the biggest collection of shit when it comes to media.
It might be Black Mirror. That's 2018. That's probably it.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, I was going to say the Black Mirror had the interactive one.
Yeah, that was it, 2018.
I still haven't watched that. It just didn't look interesting to me.
I started it, couldn't get into it because it was just like,
I still haven't watched the last season of Black Mirror. So eventually I'll have to do that. But I really love like the first couple seasons of Black Mirror. The very interesting spins on technology they have and the way they envision technology affecting us. But especially that one episode. What's the one episode where they had the robot dog?
I've never watched Black Mirror.
Oh, dude, you got to watch it. Black Mirror's freaky. It's definitely freaky. Like there's one episode where they have they do like what China's planning on doing. Where you have a social score.
Okay.
So like if you're a dickhead, your score goes down and people don't want to interact with you and shit like that. And if you're cool and nice, your score goes up and people love you and all that. That was very interesting. But like in the episode, you can't get certain things if your score is low. So people end up becoming shitty people, and they can't get a hold of the essential things they need in life because they're a shit person. But definitely very interesting. So if you haven't caught Black Mirror, that's definitely something you should check out too. What do you think, Chuckles?
Sure, why
not? Okay, so this has been episode 149. I think that's all we have. The first episode of the new year, 2023.
Yes, it is.
What do you think about that, Chuckles?
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that?
Good old 2023.
Yeah. All right, so that's all we have for you tonight. My call to action, as always, share the show with one person, and from there we'll get another person to share the show with. You can always check out thesleazypodcast.com. There's a merch option in there. You can get t-shirts and stuff like that. So that's cool. If you get a chance, congratulate our fantasy football champion from 2022. The champ, baby. He already changed his name and everything in the chat to the champ.
Because I'm not an admin in the chat, I can't change people's nicknames. I was going to change every fucking nickname in there to fucking loser, but it won't let me because I'm not an admin in the chat.
That would have been fucked up.
Fucking losers. Fuck them.
You've got bragging rights for a whole year.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Can I do this? Can I? Camera. Now, is that the right way for everybody to see?
I believe so.
I flipped my camera. If you can tell, because now I can't fucking center it up. There we go.
Yeah, it goes in and out of, but yeah, you got it.
There you go.
So are you just going to like walk around town like, yeah, I'm a fantasy football champ now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You should go and
scene in Wayne's World where they show everybody the backstage pass.
Yeah. You should go and get like a photo shoot
they
done.
Give two shits about it.
Go get you a professional photo done. Like when UFC champs and boxers, they all, they win a title, they go in and get all dressed up and have the belt over their shoulder. And, Conor McGregor had the sunglasses on. That's what you should do.
Yeah. This got delivered the other day and I do what?
Flavor Flav. Got a big chain and wear that on it.
Yeah. This,
I was thinking about that next year, seeing if we could get a chain made for whoever.
When this got delivered, I opened it up and it was sitting on the table next to the couch. And my wife came home and this fucking bitch was like, "What's this?" And she looked at it. She's like, "How much money did you win?"
Are you like, no,
I don't contribute any fucking money to this house. Like,
she was coming after that. She was like, that's mine. Mine. Your rent's due, motherfucker.
Right.
But I'm sure we'll be back in 2 weeks. Hopefully, that's if we don't have a skeleton crew again. If not, it's whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it the fuck out.
There will be a 3D printer behind me printing something next show.
Oh, nice. That'll be cool. So do you have anything planned that you want to print right away?
Not right away because I don't have it. It came with a spool of filament, but I need to get some more filament. Like if I really want to print stuff, there's some little stupid shit I've shown my wife. She wants me to print like little things to take to work or whatever. I did find a buddy of mine sent me on an Etsy shop. It was a bust of Kratos from God of War, but it's to hold your headphones. You sit it on your desk and you put your headphones on. It's a headphone holder. So I want to make something like that.
Yeah, we know you're printing that.
Yeah, I'll make something like that.
All right. Well, like I said, that's all we have for you this episode. Hopefully you were entertained. If not, big deal. I don't fucking care. But as always, keep it sleazy.
Thanks for listening to the Sleazy Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and remember, listen to Sleazy.